Ahoy there, mateys, and welcome to another pirate raid, right here on the Pirates vs. Werewolves podcast. Get ready for two wild flash fiction stories that'll hit you like a broadside cannon.
We're talking blockbuster action, bestseller thrills, all packed into these bite-sized tales specially crafted for your listening pleasure.
And today we're diving headfirst into the fascinating world of, you guessed it, werewolves.
But here's the twist. We've got two very different stories on deck. One throws some familiar faces into a supernatural showdown, while the other reimagines a personal struggle, revealing something extraordinary in the process.
Exactly. We're going to chart a course through these narratives, figure out what makes them tick, and maybe even uncover some hidden treasures along the way.
Think about the bonds of friendship, the journey of self-discovery, and the thrill of facing the unknown, all with a werewolf twist.
So batten down the hatches and get ready for a fun, thought-provoking pirate raid.
Our first stop on this pirate raid takes us to familiar waters, the mighty Mississippi. And who else would we find there but those rascally boys, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn?
Oh, I can practically smell the muddy banks and hear the riverboat whistles already.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to mind when you picture those two?
Well, I immediately see them on Jackson's Island, up to their usual shenanigans.
You know it. You've got Tom, the eternal optimist, always scheming, always looking for an adventure.
And then there's Huck, a bit more grounded, a little more cautious, but always loyal to his friend.
But this time, their adventure takes a turn for the, well, hairy. Instead of buried treasure, they stumble upon something far more unexpected, something lurking in the bushes.
Remember those original stories where Jackson's Island was the symbol of freedom and excitement? This flash fiction story, Moonlit Island, takes that familiar setting and throws in a supernatural curveball.
It definitely flips the script. So they hear this rustling, and Tom, being Tom, immediately thinks, Injuns, ready for a good old-fashioned game of pretend.
Classic Tom, always ready for a bit of mischief. But what emerges from those bushes is no playful prank. It's a creature of the night, all teeth and fur, glowing eyes piercing the darkness.
Talk about a jump scare. And poor Huck, his bewildered doggone, is so perfectly understated, yet completely inadequate for the situation.
It's that classic Huck Finn pragmatism colliding head-on with the supernatural. But things escalate quickly when the creature lunges at Tom.
And Huck, bless his heart, doesn't hesitate for a second. He grabs that trusty oar and charges in to protect his friend.
That moment speaks volumes about their friendship, doesn't it? This instinctive loyalty, putting himself in harm's way without a second thought.
But even though Huck drives the creature back, their encounter leaves a lasting mark. Literally. Tom starts feeling funny as night falls.
That funny feeling quickly morphs into a full-blown werewolf transformation. Hair sprouts, claws extend, the whole 9 yards.
And Huck, clutching that oar for dear life, is both terrified and utterly bewildered. But he doesn't run. He stays by Tom's side.
Which again speaks to the depth of their bond. It makes you wonder, what would you do if your best friend suddenly turned into a werewolf?
Honestly, I'd probably faint dead away. But Huck's made of sterner stuff. And then, under the full moon, things go from bad to worse. They're surrounded by a whole pack of werewolves.
Now, you'd expect sheer panic at this point, right? But the story takes an unexpected turn.
Tom, true to form, doesn't freak out. Instead, he embraces his inner wolf. He sees this transformation as, and I quote, the greatest adventure yet.
It's so Tom Sawyer, isn't it? Turning a terrifying situation into something exciting, something to conquer. But what about Huck?
Well, he hesitates for a moment, clearly grappling with the implications of what's happening. But then, he lifts that oar in a silent salute and transforms as well.
Talk about a powerful moment of solidarity. It raises the question, how far would you go for a friend? What lines would you cross? What changes would you embrace?
And the final image just chills. Two werewolf boys charging off into the darkness, their howls echoing across the Mississippi. They become part of the legend, a story too tall to be believed.
It's a brilliant way to tie back to the spirit of those original Tom Sawyer tales, those incredible adventures that stretched the boundaries of believability.
All right, let's shift gears now and journey into the heart of our second flash fiction story, Wolfheart. Meet Emily, a young girl who leads a very different life from our adventurous boys.
Instead of the open river, Emily's world is confined to the sterile walls of hospitals. She lives with a bad heart, a condition that limits her life and casts a shadow of fear over everything.
It's heartbreaking, really. She spends her days observing the world from her window, yearning for something more. Doctors poke and prod. Her parents try to shield her from the harsh realities.
But despite her physical limitations, you can sense this inner strength, this hunger for a life beyond her illness. And then, one moonlit night, something extraordinary happens.
Instead of the usual weak flutter, her heart beats with a sudden, powerful surge. It's like something inside her is awakening, calling her out into the woods.
This moment completely disrupts the narrative we've come to expect. This fragile girl, defined by her bad heart, is suddenly drawn towards something primal.
And the transformation is breathtaking. Her frail body shifts, not with sickness, but with power. Her first howl is this incredible release, a declaration of a new, stronger self.
It's like she's shedding her old identity, embracing something she never knew existed within her.
Of course, there's initial fear. Emily's terrified, her parents are horrified. But when a group of other werewolves arrives, the story takes another unexpected turn.
These aren't the monstrous beasts of legend. They're gaunt, fearful, hiding in the shadows. They're as much victims as they are creatures of the night.
It makes you question who the real monsters are, doesn't it? The werewolves themselves or the fear and prejudice they face.
And Emily, who has always been seen as the vulnerable one, discovers this incredible resilience. She learns to control her transformations, finding doctors who see her not as a monster, but as a marvel.
It's such a beautiful shift in perspective. Her faulty engine becomes a wolf's heart, a symbol of strength and acceptance.
She's no longer defined by her weakness, but empowered by her difference.
And then, in a truly courageous act, she leads these other werewolves out of hiding. Not in a terrifying rampage, but in a quiet, candlelit parade.
Imagine that, a parade of werewolves, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight. It's a beautiful symbolic gesture of reclaiming their humanity, challenging the monster label.
And the children who witness the parade, they don't scream or run. They react with wonder and curiosity.
It highlights how fear is often learned, passed down from generation to generation. These children haven't been taught to fear werewolves, so they see them with fresh eyes.
And the story ends with Emily as a bridge builder, her difference becoming a source of connection and understanding. It's a powerful message about the potential for empathy, even in the face of the unknown.
So there you have it, two vastly different stories, both exploring the theme of transformation in captivating ways.
We've got Tom and Huck embracing their wild side in a classic adventure gone supernatural.
And Emily finding strength and community in what was once considered a weakness.
What struck you most about these transformations? Were you swept away by the adventurous spirit of Tom and Huck? Or did you connect more with Emily's journey of self-acceptance?
Both stories offer a lot to ponder. They remind us that the unexpected can lead to new adventures and that our differences can be our greatest strengths.
They challenge us to examine our own perceptions of the monstrous and consider the transformative power of empathy.
And perhaps even inspire us to reimagine familiar stories, injecting them with a touch of the supernatural and seeing where that new perspective might lead.
Absolutely. Maybe there's a werewolf lurking in your favorite childhood tale just waiting to be discovered.
A fascinating thought, isn't it?
Thanks for joining us on this pirate raid. Don't forget to rate and follow the Pirates vs. Werewolves podcast for more captivating flash fiction adventures. We'll be back next week with another thrilling tale.
Until then, keep those imaginations running wild.
And remember, sometimes the most incredible discoveries lie hidden in the most unexpected places.
So keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your hearts ready for adventure. Farewell, mateys.
And may the winds of fortune be ever in your favor.